जय, नवद्वीप जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, द्वारका मायापुर धाम की जय, गंगामयी यमुनामयी की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय, श्री गौर निताय की जय, निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories and glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Hare Krishna. Glories and glories to Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hope everybody had a nice, blissful Aarti darshan. If I make any mistakes, please excuse me. I'm coming back after almost 2.5 months. So sometimes I may get nervous. And I want to extend a big thank you to all the congregation members who supported me during this time. So thank you so much, and yes, now let's start. So we extend a warm welcome to everyone who is joining this evening, and a special welcome to all the newcomers who are visiting us for the first time, who have never been to an ISKCON center. Do we have any new devotees today? I did. No, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Let's give a big round of applause. And also I saw some special guests. I think if I remember, I just had a word with Kanupriya Mataji. Yeah, she's there with her Prabhu, and they're visiting us for the second time. So big Hari Bol and big welcome. Thank you so much. Before we begin the program, we'll read a quote from Srila Prabhupada. Devotional service which leads to association of the Supreme Lord is actual immortality. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam 4.12.51. Before I go to the next part, I have few general announcements to make, which is that iskconmississauga is happy to launch a new email ID for our online interact. So now we can do the donations at iskconmississauga.com, and this will be the new address. The old one will soon be decommissioned, so we get a lot of donations. Please make use of, please use this new address. And our next part of the program is going to be the Vedic discourse. So this week's Vedic discourse will be delivered by His Grace Vikas Kulkarni Prabhu. So before, most of us we know Vikas Prabhu. For me, he is my favorite, and I have some fun facts about him. Let's guess that.
He's getting tense.
Fun facts. One is, of course, Prabhuji has a nice smile, and he never looks stressed. So that's one thing we need to know how, and we need to learn from him. And any guesses? What Prabhuji likes to eat the most? He has some special sweets, like what he really likes. Let's have guesses. So we'll guess. I'll give 3 options.
Okay.
Gulab jamun, rasmalai, and jalebi. So looking at Prabhuji, let's guess now. Gulab jamun,
Gulab jamun.
Okay, how many for gulab jamun? There you go. That's the correct one. Make Hari Bol. See, Prabhuji, how well we know you.
See, even when you don't give us an intro, we find a way.
That's how we find. We've got the opportunity to live in almost the same neighborhood as Prabhuji. So I have seen him, he has a dog, and Prabhuji is so nice with her. With Nala, he takes such good care. Even today I saw Prabhuji. Before coming, it was so windy and you were there out with her walking. So he does his duties very well. That's one. And yeah, we have Mataji here as well. So Halia Mataji, she's sitting at the back. Thank you for coming. Okay, so today Prabhuji is going to talk about chapter 2, verses 63 to 72. And I'll just go more details. Prabhuji has been associated with ISKCON New Vrindavan in Toronto and Mississauga since 2004. He completed his Bhakti Shastri from Mayapur Institute and is now pursuing the Bhakti Vaibhav course. He is qualified with the CPA, CIA and CISA credentials. He currently serves as the iskconmississauga Prabhuji also serves in the cooking and the cleaning teams, and he is a humble devotee who always wishes to remain as Dasa Dasan Dasa. So a big welcome to you, Prabhuji. This is your debut class today, and we look forward for many more. And personally, I have got the opportunity to work under Prabhuji as his assistant in the ISKCON Mississauga account. So a lot of learning. Every meeting we learn a lot from Prabhuji. A big Hari Bol and big welcome to you.
A couple of things before we begin. They say that you become what you eat.
Maybe the mic is not on. It might not be on. There we go.
So they say that you become what you eat. It was very easy for you to figure out what I eat. Jokes aside, this also tells us the importance of eating sattvic food. It is His mercy. There is really no grace in me for me being here. He decides which stone goes into the foundation, which stone is there at the threshold that people step on to get into His temple. He decides the stone that goes on the pinnacle of His temple, and He also decides the stone that becomes Him. In that, there is nothing that is of glory of the stone, and that's really where I am. So, I am completely unqualified to speak about the topic that I have been given, and I am saying this, I am not just saying this because it's good to say such things. I really believe so. And it is His grace that He's called me here. So please pray for me that when I say something, the right words come out at the right time, in the right spirit, so that they are received by you in the right way, they enter your hearts in the right way, and by the end of the session, we all have learned a little bit, and we've learned to love the Lord a little bit more. And that's all I am really hoping for from this session. He is Punyashravan. He is Uttam Shloka. So I don't want to spoil his hearing pleasure by singing Jai Radha Madhav in my voice. I'm going to ask Madhvi Mataji to please come and sing. No, Mataji, please come.
Yeah. I could stand there actually for the Huh? I have my question. I'll go there. I'll just stand for it's easier. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giridharadhari
प्रणिताय की जय।
I also have one more request for you. Before we begin, let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for 3 times for Darshini Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll sing the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajathan Sagan Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishvanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Kalakshepo न कर्तव्या क्षीणमायु क्षणे क्षणे यमस्य करुणा नास्ति कर्तव्यं हरिकीर्तनं त्रिणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि कलौ दोषेषु राजन् अस्ति एकोन्महान्गुणः कीर्तनादीव केशवस्य मुक्तसङ्गः परं व्रजेत् हरिर्नामैव केवलं कलो नास्तेव गतिरन्यथा. Hare Krishna. So I have been asked to speak about Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verses 63 to 74. Bhagavad Gita, they say chapter 2 is the summarization of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So it is a bit of a challenge for me to now speak about chapter 2, the concluding part of chapter 2, which is actually supposed to be the summarization of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So before we take on this momentous task, I want to start with perhaps 3 small stories. The first one, the very start of Bhagavad Gita, Vyasji went to Ganeshji to request him to be the writer of Mahabharata. So in this, the significant thing is, Vyasji, when he requested Ganeshji, he wanted somebody who will not take any pause when he is giving dictation. So Ganeshji says, sure, I'll be the writer, but Vyasa, you also should not take a single pause. You should be able to complete the dictation in one single go. So now Vyas Muni is, writing is easy, it has to follow. Vyas Muni then says, then he says, I also have a condition, Ganeshji. You will not proceed without understanding a single shloka. So you have to understand every single shloka. So this is our story 1. Our story 2 is, It is around, not really a story but anecdote. Srila Prabhupada in the introduction section speaks about how to receive Bhagavad Gita. So the point is, when winter comes, we all know how to be ready for winter. When we come to the temple, we all know how to be ready and in what form to come for the temple. So when we receive such knowledge, we also have to give up our ego that we can receive that knowledge just like anything. It has to be received in the right attitude and the right set of mind. What Prabhupada says there is that it's a medication. It's a medication for all of us who have been afflicted by this material world. And that medication should be taken the way it has been prescribed by the physician. The physician is the Lord, and he prescribes how Bhagavad Gita should be received. And who's he giving that medication to? He's giving it to Arjun Maharaj on our behalf. So we need to receive Bhagavad Gita the way Arjun Maharaj received Bhagavad Gita from the Lord. What does that mean? It means that you have to receive Bhagavad Gita in a parampara system, because in chapter 4, the Lord very clearly says, first of all, you need to receive Bhagavad Gita in the parampara system. And in our parampara system, Prabhupada and previous acharyas have been magnanimous enough to link the whole parampara right to this point, all the way back to the start of the parampara with Brahmaji. So we are receiving this Bhagavad Gita and the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita as it is from Prabhupada in that parampara. Then, of course, we need to be submissive, we need to learn with a learning attitude and with service attitude. We cannot be arrogant, we cannot be thinking about our own thinking. It has to, if something doesn't make sense, you have to say it will make sense when I am capable. It is not about, oh, it doesn't make sense. It is not making sense to me. That should be the approach. The third one is a little funny story. It's about the student psyche. So not all of us, we all are students, but not all of us receive knowledge in the same way. And the story that comes to my mind is when Ashwatthama had to be killed on the battlefield. Now we all know the person whom the Lord chooses to go and kill Ashwatthama, the elephant, not Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya, but just the elephant. He elects Bhima. What is the weapon of Bhima? Mace, Gada, right? Right next to him is Yudhishthir. Does anyone know what was the weapon Yudhishthir had? What was his favorite weapon? Spear, yes. And then the Lord doesn't even have to look at the other chariot. Right on his chariot is Arjun Maharaj, right behind him. What is the weapon Arjun Maharaj has? Arrow. Now you look at the three different weapons. A few paces, go, throw the spear, get the task accomplished. Bhimji, he has to take his gada, walk all the way, fight all the soldiers in between, and then hit that gada. Why? Why could the Lord not ask Arjun, do this? Because Arjun Maharaj's psyche is this right, is this wrong? Bhagavad Gita, 45 minutes of Bhagavad Gita right before the start of the war. He knows Yudhishthir Maharaj's psyche. Yudhishthir Maharaj would have asked a whole lot of questions. He actually, even while this is happening, the Lord gives, we will not go into that story, but the Lord actually tries to convince Yudhishthir Maharaj that it is okay to lie, and he doesn't. So the point is, when you are receiving some knowledge, and if that knowledge is beyond you, you need to have the simplicity of being. Being basically said, I don't understand this, I don't know what is right or wrong, but this, the Lord, He knows what is right and wrong. He told me I am going to do it. That's being. we have to understand, are we a student like pain? If we are not, if we don't have the simplicity, then let's not make wrong assumptions about our capability, because we will have questions. We will channelize that energy. What is causing this energy to be? That is our mind. Likes, dislikes, our inclinations, disinclinations, all that. So I have the body which is controlled by my energy, which is controlled by my mind. Now just imagine that, and keep your eyes closed. Imagine if there is a snake or a scorpion next to you. Your mind will now tell you to move your hand, but your intelligence is going to tell you, don't dare, because the speed with which you can move your hand is much less compared to the speed with which that snake can bite you. But there is a problem. Basically discriminates things between this and that, good and bad. This is nice, that's not nice. This intelligence is telling me, if that snake bites me, then I'm going to die, or I'll likely die, or I'll have pain, and it's not good for me. At the level of awareness, think, oh, mass of atom which is shaped like a snake, which is hitting a mass hand, which I call my body. The poison from that mass from this body, that which is eternal. When the Lord is He gives us this body, and is that when the Lord says nine is eternal, now we can understand at that is eternal. Now we can understand at that together by the pranamaya. And ego is important because in this world, but quickly move to the next slide, because chapter 3 verse in English. I've tried to put
superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than senses. Sense is still higher than mind.
read the second part also.
By deliberate spiritual intelligence. Insatiable enemy known as lust.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, our consciousness, our energy, or so makes is make your buddhi vyavsayik become. Focus it on me. Now you can understand that shloka better. When the Lord says that once you connect to this, it is like connecting and drinking from a huge source of water. You don't now have to depend on small sources of water. What that really means is, once you are at your Sat, Chit and Ananda layer, the innermost layer, you now are not limited to thinking about reading whether it is this religion or that religion, whether I am this gender or that gender, whether this is good or bad, whether I have power or not. None of that matters. You are now drinking from the biggest body of water, Him. At that time, none of these things matter. Then all the things we think about during the daily life do not matter to us. That is the meaning of that shloka. If you think about it, and I'll skip a few slides here because you think about this, what does this mean? The Sthul Sharir and the Sukshma Sharir. This is given by the Lord. You think of that as the Sthul Sharir is, say, the hardware, and Sukshma Sharir is the software. The hardware and the software is given by Him. The energy to run this equipment is given by Him. How can we think that the results of our action belong to us? Karmanyevadikaraste. Now you can understand what that really means. Because nothing belongs to me. It belongs to Him. How can we even have a like to do something or not to do something? We have to follow what is His dictate. And then there is a verse, it's a very interesting verse, where the Lord says, once you understand this, there is nothing more to be said or heard. Once you are at that awareness level, nothing of this world that is there is for you of any interest to hear or to speak about. That's what this is. This is, when you are at that level, you are at Stitha Prajna, 254. Arjuna asked, what are the symptoms of somebody who is Stitha Prajna? These are the symptoms of somebody who is Stitha Prajna. Because at that stage, you are not connected to the subtle body, you are not connected to this gross body. Then, just before, I am told to speak from 63, but 62 and 63 are connected. So, we raised our consciousness to awareness. What makes us fall down? 62 and 63 speak of that. So, if you are at that highest level of awareness, we come down, dhyayate vishayan pumsa sangas teshopajayate. The moment we start to contemplate, I am thinking I am the soul. Suddenly, some smell comes, some music comes, some thought comes in my mind. That thought, the moment I start to dwell on it, if it comes, let it come and go. As a witness, let it go. But if you dwell on it, dhyayate, the moment you hold your attention on it, sangaste shopajayate, now you start to create attachment. The moment you create attachment, sangat sanjayate kama, then desire will arise. Whether it's good, bad, wanting, push it away, or whatever that is, but that desire will arise. Kamat krodho vijayate. So either that desire will be fulfilled or not fulfilled. If it is getting fulfilled, actually it's like more and more fire is getting generated. You will have more and more desires, which is even bigger problem. If it is not fulfilled, then frustration. And from frustration, anger. With anger, you start to lose your memory. With memory, with sort of bewilderment of memory, intelligence is lost. What do you mean intelligence is lost? Intelligence that I am the soul, which is where I started, that is lost, and I, through these 8 steps, fell down into material world. That is the nash, that is anartha. You need to come out of anartha. So, When Lord and Arjuna are speaking, they are speaking at that level, and that is the fall down that happens. So we now come to verse 64, which is where I was supposed to start. I have 15 minutes, I'll go there. I'll finish in 15 minutes. So, Ragadvesh vimuktestu vishayan indriyeshcharan atma vasher videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. When a person is free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom, can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. I have put some quote from Srila Prabhupada, and these are all his words. This is from the purport for that particular verse, where Prabhupada says, it is already explained that one may externally control the senses by some artificial process, but unless the senses are engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is every chance of a fall. And then we speak about, there are two words that are very key here. Atmavashya, which is self-controlled, and Videyatma, who follows regulative freedom. So this is basically, now we can think that, oh, this is all high philosophy. Is the Lord telling Arjuna that go with this philosophy? No, he is saying, here is the clue. Because in chapter 3, Arjuna Maharaj will ask, for our benefit, he will ask, oh, why are you engaging me in all of this? He is saying, follow regulative freedom. It is regulative. I am giving you freedom, but it is regulated. You have to do things for me. So this is not a pass for you to not fight. You have to fight, but for me. Focus on me. Whether you want to fight or not fight should not be your own desire. You are doing the fight for me. And then there is the karmi, the jnani, the yogi, and the bhakta. For the karmi, what that means is perform karma solely for the Lord. For the jnani, what it means is realize his plan, because the jnani is speculating, and surrender to his plan. For the yogi, one must realize the oneness of everything, because at that time you can see that the way I am awareness, somebody else's awareness, everybody's awareness is there. I didn't want to go in here, but there were 3 times the word ahimsa comes in Bhagavad Gita. What you will truly understand now with ahimsa is, because I am the soul and 100 years of this birth doesn't mean anything in a eternity, on a scale of eternity, this 100 years don't mean anything. So ahimsa really is, if I am helping somebody else come out of this material world, then that is true ahimsa. If I make somebody enticed and stay in this world, that is hinsa. I am doing hinsa. The moment we say, oh, you tell your kids, have this, have that, go for property, have this, that's good. You have to live in this world, so you have to go through that. But you have to have them not get attached. The moment you get them attached to something and don't tell them the importance of detachment, then you are creating hinsa for that soul, because you are making them come again and again into this world. So that is the meaning of hinsa. Anyway, so at the yogi level, because you can now connect, Arjuna Maharaj can connect with everybody's soul and understands this, it is okay for him to kill the body of the Kauravas, because if they were not to be killed, they will perpetuate sin, and therefore they will have a much more miserable life going forward. And therefore it was okay. So even as a yogi, even if Arjuna Maharaj were to think that he is a yogi, he would still have to fight. And then as a bhakta, you act only for his satisfaction. So that's what Stitha Prajna means for all 4 types of people. This is an easy verse. Prabhupada did not even put a purport against it. But what this means is, For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. Why? Because at that stage of pure awareness, me and mine is not there. I am not thinking about me as the body. And by mine, what I mean is my family. Everything that is associated with this body is mine. My property, my job, my likes, my dislikes, all of that, me and mine, will not exist. At pure consciousness level, that was the purpose. If you are at that level, that me and mine will not exist, dualities will not exist. As I said, at that stage, a bullet hitting you, a snake biting you does not mean anything. It is just awareness. Awareness will survive. Awareness cannot be killed. And the purpose, the reason I am going into this level of detail is because we need to create muscle memory. The more you can elevate yourself, perhaps even for a fraction of a second during the day, but you are able to think that you are the soul, that muscle memory will remain. And that muscle memory will get strengthened every time you exercise it. Your bhakti will become better. Your karma will become better. Your reflection and position in life will become better because you will not react, you will respond. And that gets you a little bit of control. And the point here is, because the me and mine and the dualities have started to come down, and I am able to better reflect on it. Now, in the calm mind, in the stillness of water, I can see the reflection. If you have a glass and you put some water in it and you put a coin in it, it is constantly disturbed. You cannot see the coin inside. But the moment the water becomes calm, you can very clearly see the coin. And that is the thing. We will then be able to see our soul. Time we will be able to see Him, Paramatma. And this Nasti buddhir ayuktasya na yuktasya cha bhavana na cha bhaveta shantir ashantasya kutha sukham. And somebody can read the purport from Srila Prabhupada. It is very meaningful. It is very clear on its own. Every single thing. Anybody?
With the Supreme, it's not one, no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace?
Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody? The one below. Go ahead, Prabhu.
There is no possibility of peace. So it is confirmed in the 5th chapter, 5.29, that when one understands that Krishna all the good results of sacrifice, He is the provider of all the, He is the real friend. Therefore, if one is not...
Thank you, Prabhu. That's it. Yukta basically means when we are connected with the Lord. With the Lord. So for a karmi, if they are not, then there is a chance of, because they have the results of my action. Jnani by neti, and Ashtanga Yogi by meditation. If they get all the way up to that awareness level, still is because Hiranyakashipu, example, he had the Brahma. I am the one. Follow. So if even at that level those people are not connected to the Lord, it is like, again, think of everything as it. Staying at that level, in that level of awareness, pedestal, nobody holds that ball point where its momentum to go that ball point where its momentum to go up will come to zero. It will stop and fall down. It's just that 1 second for that ball. All of these efforts people put to get Brahma Gyan, it is meaningless if it is ayukta. For the bhakta, it is always yukta. He is always connected. To get into this level of philosophy, the moment you are singing for the Lord, nothing else matters, and there is nothing else really in your mind also. But what the bhakta is not to become ayukta. So when I go out of this room, I should not become ayukta. I should still have the Lord with me and maintain that connection. Because very likely, if we don't make this distinction, we will think too much of ourselves. Oh, I am bhakta, I am always yukta, I am always having the Lord with me. No, this is our fall down. And then, because of that example, you can now understand how simply this can be undertaken. The moment I am maintaining my awareness at that pure consciousness, even one sense, even one sensory object comes into my consciousness, it is like a boat that is taken away because its sail got wind and the wind took it away into the ocean. So that's really what this verse is. I am now running out of time, so I will move ahead quickly. But Prabhupada speaks about Maharaj as the best example of how to continuously remain and be a yukta. When you read 5 to 33, a whole lot of sacrifices are talked about in chapter 4. Basically what that sacrifice is in some ways either you ignore the sense objects, you control your senses, you control the mind, you control your prana, or you control your intelligence. That's really what it is. We went through the 4 layers of our body: the pranamaya kosh, the annamaya kosh, the pranamaya kosh, manomaya kosh, anandmaya kosh, vijnanmaya kosh, and then anandmaya kosh. So what chapter 4, those 8 verses talk about is you need to control and put a stop somewhere. So if you into your awareness, but either stop the sensory objects or stop your prana or stop your intelligence from engaging. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sayami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mane. It's a very interesting, very cryptic shloka, but what it means is, and Prabhupada has actually said a lot. The introspective sage remains alert in the night of the materialistic man. The sage feels transcendental pleasure in the gradual advancement of spiritual culture. Whereas the man in materialistic activities, being asleep in self-realization, dreams of varieties of sense pleasure, sometimes distressed in his sleeping condition. What this means is, a sage is at that self-awareness level. He is aware and he is awake, but nobody else is there in that level. He is the only guy. Everybody else is asleep. Where are everybody else awake? They are awake in the material world. Their body is going around, their intelligence is going around, their mind is going around in this part. They are asleep in self-awareness. The sage is not asleep in self-awareness. He is not active in the material world. He's in the material world. How does he act? He acts like the tortoise. Prabhu covered that in the last lecture. He acts like a tortoise because he says, I need to get food to maintain this body and the soul together, I need to cook food to give to the Lord. So that is the only controlled movement, Videyatma, that I am going to make because I have to interact in this world. I have to go in this world, I have to have job, I have to earn money, all of that. I have to do that because I have to live in this world. But at that time, even the job is something that I offer to the Lord. I'm quickly making some references because this is linked. It is summarization of Bhagavad Gita. So chapter 12, verses 8 to 12, if somebody wants to read in line with what we've talked about, you will see the Lord exactly says the same thing. Either you work in complete consciousness of me, if not, then work on regulative principles of bhakti. If not, then you offer the results of your work to me. If not, then you meditate. If not, then you generate knowledge. This is basically what it is. Every chapter now you can understand and links with what we are talking about here. And then basically if you are able to maintain at that level, it's like an ocean where rivers are coming in, but the ocean is unimpacted. Similarly, our consciousness slowly will start to become unimpacted. I'm not saying it is a very easy task, but as I said, muscle memory. If you do it once, you do it again, the same thing, you do it again the third day, slowly we will gain control over our awareness and we will be able to apply it better. I think it is very obvious on its own, but and since I don't have time, I'll move to the next one, which is the last one. If we are able to maintain ourselves in this level, then achieving the Lord is very easy. And that's what the Lord says even right up in the chapter 18. Chapter 8, verse 6, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyaja Mai arpit manobuddhi mamay veshya samshaya. So he is saying, think of me and fight, because whatever thought is there at the time of death, you will come to that. There are 3 shlokas I have given as quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll just speak of the last one. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Swanushtitasya dharmasya vishvaksena kathasya na utpadye yatiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. So, if at the end of it, you cannot develop love for the Lord through any of your activities, then it is shram, fruitless labor only. And with that, I'll stop my class. Thank you so much. I'm 2 minutes ahead.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That was a very, you explained things in such a simplified manner, and the way you brought importance on awareness, and how you requested everyone to close their eyes, and we most of us, I mean, I'm sure all of us who felt that thought that you were trying to bring in, that even for a minute in a day when we think that we are not the soul, that will at least, and it will bring a lot of most of the verses you brought. Any questions, please feel free to applause again. Another fun fact, I don't have time. What game does Prabhuji like? I gave 3 choices: cricket, badminton, chess.
Cricket.
Now,
Is it? Vikas?
it's chess. Right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, how did you know, Mataji?
That's thank you so much. I need 5 minutes earlier. Our program location. It will be in your room. Timings are the same. enough flyer as well. And safety enough flyer as well. And safety reminder during winter, you've seen that there are 2 entrances to Vic Johnston community. Let's try to it has a steep slope, so it's better to use the. And also you will see sometimes these days we are using as we request people. Of course, we will be bringing out the chair. Persons with medical disabilities, they can use, because your team to clean up, unless more people want to join and help us, so that would be nice too. And then Sucharu Mataji, she has brought us back some nice prasadam from Jagannath Puri, which is the dried rice. It is available at the front desk. Please take it from there, and this is very suitable for breaking the Ekadashi fast, so everybody make use of that as well. And lastly, we would have some special prayers. We will chant 3 times the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for the health of His Grace Chet Pataka Swami, and a speedy recovery of Padmaja Mataji and Rasvisera Gopindra Prabhu, who is our congregation members. So let's chant for them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Also, before we go, I'm very excited to share our book distribution number. Yesterday, in spite of adverse weather conditions, our Sankirtan warriors, they distributed 31 books. So, big round of applause and for the Srila Prabhupada Marathon Score, we have distributed so far 451 Bhagavad Gitas. Our target is 700. We need 249 more to reach by December. So please help us with that. And needless to devotees who are serving in various capacities, such as singers, pujaris, altar decoration, musicians, microphone operators, all were set up the room. And also I would will always welcome, and like to say something.
Thank you. You just mentioned about books. I just wanted to talk a little about that. So every year, November, mid of November to December, it's a very special period. It's like most of the devotees wait for that to do something, to do very tiny bit. We cannot at any given point of time do anything back to the spiritual master, because it's like a joke. What can you do? Give back. What can the children give back to the parents? We can't at any given point of time. We cannot compare it to anything, right? But we all know Prabhupada. He was in his own comfort zone. Vrindavan, such a spiritual atmosphere, and he was completely okay over there. But why did he take the pains to come back to the West? Only because of his compassion, that he got the instructions from his spiritual master one. But then he imagined him going and sitting on the steps of this Sindhya company, where the Jaladuta, the company, he's sitting even on the stairs to make sure that he meets her. Like every day, 2 hours, 3 hours, he would sit. This was noticed, and then he was given the permission to come. That's a tiny bit, and then only 2 hours Prabhupada would go to bed, right? The rest of the time when it is calm, what is Prabhupada doing? He's having all the other books and doing the translation work. And today you touch most of the devotees, and how come you want to take up this Krishna consciousness? And there is one answer which is in common. That is for sure, it is the books. Because these books, when you read, you understand the depth of it.
It transforms, because that's the purity in which Prabhupada has translated these books, to bring this to the West, the fallen conditioned souls, right? This much he has done. So every year we give a little bit of our efforts towards the end of the year, and it is called Live to Give. You need to give something. When you do some charity, when you do something, when you give something to someone which is the most valuable, then it brings joy to both the one who receives as well as the one who gives it, right? So this Live to Give, it's a campaign which goes on from November 15th to December 31st, and it's like a payback time for Srila Prabhupada. So it is called as Prabhupada Marathon. And if you observe, I'm not just talking about the ISKCON, this season, as soon as the December is nearing, there is one more. People they are ready for shopping. Why? There is a holiday season, right? It's a holiday season, Christmas is there, you have 2 days off, then what is that, Black Friday? No, Black Friday comes now, and Boxing Day, right? They're all waiting, they want to buy something, then give that as a gift to someone. So what is the best gift that we can give to anyone? The Bhagavad Gita. So we all have, as Mataji just now announced the scores, we have another 249, or you can round it off to 250 books of Bhagavad Gita. Out of the scores, whatever goal we had set, we have met more than half of it. We only have just 250 books to go. And we have boxes over here, and each box contains 16 books. And each box is for $208. So those who are interested to participate in this Live to Give campaign, we just request you all, either you can just give your names now, or you want to meet Dharma Prabhu and give the names to Dharma Prabhu. You all can either do it today, there is time till 31st, but you all want to do it today, or even December 1st. So December 1st, it was already announced that it is Gita Jayanti. That day we are going to shlokas of Bhagavad Gita from chapter 1 to chapter 18. So that is also a very auspicious day. It's an Ekadashi day, right? It's Gita Jayanti. So that's the advent of Bhagavad Gita, the day when Lord Krishna recited or sang the song of Bhagavad Gita in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, right? So this is a Vedic wisdom, timeless Vedic wisdom. And this is the best gift that we can give. If you have one, that's fine. If you don't have one, please pick one for you. And you want to gift something to your friends, to your colleagues, someone, you can please take it. And we have it in different languages as well. And if you want to sponsor, saying I already have, but I want to sponsor, then you can sponsor 1 box, 2 boxes, or even half a box, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you all. So we request you all humbly to participate, to do something, a tiny bit for Srila Prabhupada. So this is called Srila Prabhupada Marathon. So with this, I just want to conclude. Is anyone willing to do or sponsor or take some books to be given as gifts? And those who want to sponsor, who make the payment, the tax receipt will be given. Tax receipt will be given. 1 box. Sampat Prabhu, 1 box. Hari Bol. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. 1 box. Prabhuji, your name? Ravi. Mataji, you're making a note? Ravi Prabhu. Thank you very much, Ravi Prabhuji. 1 box. Vivek Prabhuji. 1 box. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Anyone else? You want to take a box of books. Sachimata, Abhinav, Lakshmi Priya and Sai Prabhu taking 1 box. Thank you very much, Mataji. Anyone else over here? Yes, we can always do that. You want to make the payment later on also, that is fine. So you can keep that in the mind. You are already those who have pledged for the sponsor, or those who want to either take the books, that is also fine. Thank you all very much once again. Hare Krishna. Yes, just a small thing. This is by Keshav, His Holiness Swami Bhagavan Keshav Swami Maharaj. This is to show why we need to give it back to Srila Prabhupada. Just a small clipping, okay? Thank you, Prabhuji.
We are in this material world.